Basically today I just grabbed a Sewer off the shelf here. Got a Sewer Classic. It's got a humbucker in the bridge, single. It's basically like a super strat sound. Get the typical kind of bluesy strat sounds out of the fifth position, and the fourth and third. Then they get some more hard rock sounds out of the first position. In regards to the actual pedal board, we got a T-S wah-wah. This is a killer wah-wah. It's called the Equalizer. It's got a great EQ in it, which can really dial out some of the highs. A lot of wah-wahs sometimes can get really brittle sounding, and they get they get this weird breakup that I don't like. So I like to be able to really control the sound of the wah-wah using the equalizer and using the EQ on it. This is my favorite pedal on the board. Is this? It's my tuner. It's the most important pedal I have. Without it, I don't want to play. It should be everybody's favorite pedal should be a tuner, because a lot of guys don't tune. And so anyway, this is a killer tuner by Sonic Research called the Turbo Tuner. It's the best tuner on the market that I've seen so far. After that, we got this is the RC Booster by Exotic. It's basically a preamp. As a preamp booster, you can use it for various things. I almost never shut it off. It's an integral part of the sound. It basically brings dead sounding guitars to life. It pretty much kind of just brings up everything. Kind of gives more of a CD quality. I wouldn't say hi-fi, but it just takes the sound of your guitar. This is what, like when you get that sound like a wet blanket on the guitar, and this takes it off. If necessary, I got an SP compressor by Exotic. This is a great compressor. It's small, takes up very little room. It's great clean sound, doesn't add a lot of noise. It's an awesome compressor. I love it. Next we have the Morning Glory by G.A.S. It's basically an overdrive. Gets a lot of great bluesy tones. It's a real popular pedal right now. A lot of guys are liking it, especially I've noticed a lot of guys in the worship scene are buying it in the churches and that. So it's a great sounding pedal. Next, this is fairly new for me on the board, is a Sheba Drive by Sewer. Basically, it's another overdrive. It's got more gain than the Morning Glory. It's just a different sounding drive, different sound. And then I got a Timmy, which is like a tube screamer. This is just an old trem I've had for years from Maleko. It's just a tiny tremolo. Sometimes I like to use trem in different atmospheres and different songs, especially if I'm doing some country or soul. I want to keep back in the mix, but add a little bit more depth. Using a tremolo is a great effect, especially when you're playing anything that's like vintage sound or old school. Apart from that, we have a this was a Garage Tone phaser. Garage Tone, it was made by Visual Sound. They no longer make it. They just discontinued, I think, in the last 5 months. The box for the Garage Tone was really ugly. And not that this is any prettier, but it's prettier than the other one. So I took the guts out of the Garage Tone, and I got a friend in Grecia to recap it. The RoboTalk is basically an envelope filter. I'll show you that. But pretty funky. I use that for just funk, or if I really want to get a whack sound on a solo. I don't use it a lot, but when I do, you know it. It sticks out. It's like a wah-wah. It's like a wah-wah on acid kind of thing. It's pretty cool. It works on attack. Then this is also one of my other favorite pedals. When I'm playing blues, I don't want to play without this pedal. It's the best reverb pedal I've ever played for spring reverb. It's the faux spring reverb by Wampler. It's one of the most authentic, biggest sounding reverbs I've ever heard in regards to that typical vintage spring sound. And then last is my Echo 616 delay by Maleko. I've had this now for about 5 years. Never taken it off, never traded it for another one. I've tried tons of delays. I mean, I don't need a lot of it, but when I do, I like something that sounds really, really authentic. You know, I don't need tap. I mean, I just like a little bit of flavor, a little bit of depth. Sometimes for playing like rockabilly type stuff, I'll use it, or doing something like a Floyd type solo or rock solo, the delay comes in handy. With Drive, it's pretty wicked. Compression, we want to go through that. It's a basic compressor, you know, just kind of fattens things up, makes it tight without compression. It brings up a lot of bass in there, a little fatter. This pedal, like I said, I never shut it off. It's the RC booster. This thing adds a lot. Like you can hear just on an open chord without the RC. Adding the RC. It's a little bit of grit in there because I got a little bit of gain in there, but it adds a lot of life. Like if I do, if I take that out and do the same thing. It feels like a blanket's been lifted off the guitar. It sounds live. It sounds big and live. Typically, I'd have the RC in there also. Now the difference. I mean, that's just the biggest, fattest reverb you can get for springs.